Hello, 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 my friends. It's so good to be back. It's so good to be streaming. The tavern doors are open, so come on in, have a seat, have some meat, and relax. Hope you're all having fantastic days. Today, we're kicking off our evening with some more TTRPGs. Today, continuing our Wednesday adventures of Wildsea. Exploring the strange and fantastic waves of the verdant green. Our brave and fantastic crew last seen below the depths, below the canopy and the branches. Into a sunken ruin, an attempt to find riches, treasures, and potentially save a lost crew. Now, make sure you have yourself a nice hearty bug and made a nice comfortable seat, because without further ado, my name's Hippie, I'm your host. And welcome to the bridge. Ooh, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Gonna be streaming. I'll be all kicking ass and taking names, doing the thing, touching the butts, being badasses. It is good to be back. Good to be here. Yeah, we're gonna be continuing adventures. So I'm not gonna be holding up too much here. Go ahead and get straight on into things. Say hello to our crew. Hello, crew.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Oh. How y'all doing? Hope you're having fantastic days.
Pizza. Absolutely.
Pizza.
Pizza.
All praise the pizza.
Everyone, you know, oh, I'm fine. Off of the dark corners, just the glowing yellow eyes of a man beast tearing apart at something circular, saucy. Pepperoni. Pizza.
No. Stop. Stop.
No, more.
No.
Fucking tequila. More pizza.
That's a start. That's definitely a start.
It's definitely more sauce in his face than in him. Looks like a bloody massacre.
I would like to put in my resignation as captain.
That one scares me.
I'm not scared of much. But that thing cuts tequila eating pizza. It scares me. Love it. Great way to open. We do unfortunately once again lack a Draven. If he does wake up, cool. Hopefully he'll join us and whatnot. If not, so be it. It was not meant to be. Yeah. You guys remember what you all were doing last week?
Running for my life.
There's a lot of running, definitely.
There was
remember four-armed Bellogarl nearly crushed me with a wrench.
You know, those wrenches are
Yeah,
built
of
for
course.
safety.
Not mine. Definitely not mine. And of course, the big old tower spider that we ran into.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, true this. Yes. Did in fact run it. Yeah, I mean, you guys were exploring the ruins of this sunken city. Through your multitudes of hallways and adventurings, you came across some resistance in the form of a larger Bellogarl's compatriots. After a brief scuffle and harrowing combat, the Garls were called away to warning beacon being put out through their speakers. Having followed them, you came to a decently sized underground observatory, overgrown with plant life and whatnot. Though no longer maintained, obviously. Um, and in the midst of the shrubberies and the greeneries and the broken, shattered trees, found what stands as the remaining crew and research team, as well as Captain Liao. I never say his name the same, by the way. I don't think I've ever said his name the same because I never decided how I wanted to say.
Captain Lamau.
Captain Lamau,
Captain Lamau.
giggling his bootiest maximus off. Captain Lau and his standing crew fighting for their lives against a plethora of fairly damaged machinery and bellow garls, as well as one rather large tower spider, its multitude of arms snipping and slashing through the air, legs stomping around, barely being held back by the electric current rippling from Lau's arms and tendrils, as well as the kind of jury-rigged up exosuit that one of his crew members is wearing to fight off creatures. Instead of that, there are two other crew members. One lays in a slump on the ground, bleeding, wounded. The other fights tooth and nail with sword and pistol, fending off a slew of Garls that have managed to get closer and within Captain Lau's electric blasts. In front of you, charging in, is the four-armed Bellow Garl, again about 8 feet tall. Large wrench in hand. Though it's not charging for the crew itself, it's charging for the tower spider. So are several other members of the little scrap group that you guys have been following behind. Yeah, we open up the scene. Captain Lau is floating about 10 feet in the air. Yeah. Electricity coursing through his body and off of his limbs. Occasionally streaks out across the ground and blasts at Bellow Garl, or snapping at one of the limbs of the tower spiders as it attempts to brawl and fight with the man in the exosuit. The lady who fights with pistol and sword, screaming obscenities at the machines that charge her, dodges in and out, puncturing holes through essentially the lung sacs of the bellows on the back, the bellow garls, or slashing and breaking apart limbs of what she can here or there. You cannot see the man in the exosuit. The machine almost hear the straining gears and synthetic muscles as it strains to hold back this massive conglomerate of arms and legs and metal that attempts to bear down and crush those who have invaded whatever it is meant to have been protecting. What are y'all doing?
I kind of want to stop that big Bellow Garl before it can do whatever it's planning on doing.
Okay.
I'll help him out with that.
So the one thing that we know about the Bellow Garls is that they like to repair things, and I don't think we want that thing repaired.
It's acceptable. Yes, I mean, maybe.
Perhaps. Nothing good. All we know is that's going to be nothing good.
I mean, is it really bad though? Like, let's be real here.
It is bad enough.
All right. Well, so what are the others kind of veering towards? You are in relatively full sprint to keep up with these machines. It's been a small distance. You're a little tired, but you're still in combative conditions. Oh no, I did bring a pencil. Haha.
Ah.
Loon,
I recall,
little pot, either. What do you guys do?
If I recall, you said that me and the four-armed one stand relatively the same size, right?
Yeah, you're both. It's about 8 feet, maybe a little bit taller depending on its current stance, you know. But
I'm gonna try to restrain it. Use it by its arms, or like, I guess the upper arms.
okay, so yeah, I mean you can certainly give it a go. Sprinting up as best you can behind it. It's a little slower than you guys, just because old machinery. So yeah, if you want to try and restrain it, how are you like grappling this thing?
Grab like its arms and kind of pull it back.
Okay. Well, based off of its strength, so this is probably going to be something, irons and brace or something similar.
Good thing I have both.
Very good.
Very nice.
So that would be one for the action and one for each, right?
Yeah. So, you have iron. You actually don't have a point brace.
Oh, brace. I thought you said break. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, definitely more brace than break, unless you were trying to like break his limb specifically. But yeah.
Then that's just two, right?
So it'll be one for irons, one for I mean, I guess in terms of your aspects, like towering would be a thing here. I'd give you one for towering since you're larger than normal.
I'm in three.
3, oh yeah. I mean, you successfully, your arm, you grab it by the arms that aren't holding the wrench, I assume. And kind of, it's not like, you're basically kind of holding it back from continuing its sprint. It's giving little notice to your attempts to stop it. It is instead digging its feet in, attempting to continue to push on. The repeated warnings of Guardian needing repairs bellows from its voice box. Focus is up. If anyone takes it.
The dog claims focus.
Harley would like focus.
All right, Harley, what do you do? All right, Harley, you kill the bad guys.
It's gonna lick its leg.
Very good.
Have we studied for any type of weakness?
No. You guys just showed up
yet.
at the scene. And yeah,
I would like to do that.
what exactly are you studying? The billow garls or the tower spider? And
The tower spider.
okay, I was gonna say, technically, if you wanted to, you could research one of your teammates as well.
No, I'd like to research the tower spider.
Okay. So give me a study.
I believe that is. Okay, I think that's 3. Yeah, I don't freaking learn anything.
Two
You
twos and a 1.
you can tell me. You can just say it straight to my face. I learned nothing.
Well, you do get a double. So doubles are always a twist in a positive way. Though you can't see anything that, like, you know, you don't see like an off switch or means to, like, you know, stab at any kind of core or anything. You do notice that when it is struck by electricity, it does stutter and shake. Almost as if these aren't designed to take in extra. They're not resistant to being electrocuted.
I have a funny idea now. I have a crank light. And you said I've been sensing some static charge in it. Might be stupid, might be good.
might be stupid, might be good.
Right.
Could be both.
As you're kind of looking around the machine, the upper body kind of rotates and shifts, and a new set of arms is brought up front. One of them rotates and has a small cannon on it. It just kind of blasts down in front of it. It misses the man in the exosuit, but does spray dirt and rock all over the place, as well as its 4 other limbs end in fairly sharp mandibles used for different, whether it's for spearing or clamping or slashing, as they slam down and clank into the man in the exosuit. You do see his left leg buckle give as he minorly, like, collapses the ground for trying to right himself back up. Another Belogaro goes down to a loud crack of a pistol as the woman fires off another deft shot, weaving between what she can. You do notice that she is also pretty battered. A lot of cuts and bruises. You see that she does step with a slight wince with her right leg. Focus up.
I'm at least gonna try to do some damage to this Belogaro, that big one.
Okay. What do you do?
I am going to try to aim for its bellows, its big old lungs.
Okay.
Punch it.
Okay.
I don't got many weapons other than the ones I was born with. I do have a knife, but
Yep.
hack
Fair.
is not a good skill for me.
All right. I mean, go and try and budget. Do it with a +1 because it is being held.
Okay. Also, I have read on the quick reference sheet that I can take a cut for extra impact.
Sure.
Okay. 5 dice, cut of 1. That's a 5, 4, 2, and 1.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, you stepping up and kind of stepping to the side of Little Pot. You just start wailing into one of the lung sacs for the larger Belogaro. And yeah, with very quick succession, the prosthetic lung collapses, literally forcing the air back outside of sync. Just collapses the lung entirely. You, Little Pot, you do feel the machine as that lung collapses. You immediately feel the resistance lighten as you kind of almost tilt backwards with the machine now. It no longer being able to put full power into each of its limbs. As you do that, Briar's Belogaro finally rotates its head towards the two of you. Warning! Warning! Unit under attack! Warning! Defense protocols initiate! Warning! As that happens, the 4 Belgarls, smaller ones, had been charging towards the fray of Captain Liao and his crew. Stop and rotate. There are different forms of disarray and repair. One of them raises a rickety pistol and fires back towards you guys. Little Pot. Being shot at. What do you do?
I'm gonna use the thing I'm restraining at.
Try and shift it over. Give me a.
Hey, big guy, you're made of metal. Shield.
Give me a brace or something to kind of get this into place.
This is gonna be a 1 die. So I don't. Would instinct count?
I mean, you get 1 grace, so iron or instincts, really. I would still give you a bonus for having towering. Same reason, it's a strength thing, and since you're naturally bigger and stronger, just makes a little bit more sense.
3 and a 2.
Alright, yeah, you don't quite get it into place before you feel a searing pain in your side. The shot found home, and not often you get shot. Take 2 marks of damage, please. Make it 1, because you did. It is a. No, it's not a minor success. Never mind. Make it 2. 5 and 4 are minor successes. That's right.
Yeah.
Focus up.
I guess I'll take it.
Alright.
Failing to use the robot or the battle gas as cover, he's just kind of get a little bit angry and just kind of, I guess, like a reaction like to wincing in pain, kind of pull too hard around the arms and try to rip it off.
Okay. So you're gonna try and rip off its limbs.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's definitely a break.
Yeah.
Break and towering.
I mean, so always look at edges, skills, and aspect. Those are all going to give you some sort of bonus if you have something towards it. And then if you have a tool also, that is an advantage. So edge will give you 1, skills will give you whatever it is in points, and then you have 2 total advantages you can gain, whether through tools or aspects. So I would say iron, because this is force. Break, you're trying to break something. And I'd still give you towering due to the situation. Like, again, because you are bigger, you are stronger, quote unquote. Technically, it doesn't fully apply, but I feel like in this situation, you're meant to be stronger.
Especially after collapsing one of those bellows.
4, 3, 2.
And then do gain a dice for it being damaged and less able to resist.
Okay, so reroll with 4 then. Should I reroll with 4?
Yeah, I didn't even know you rolled. I don't keep chat open all the time. So.
6, 5, 4, 1.
Oh yeah. What do you do?
So just as getting shot, just kind of pull off the arms and just kind of grab me, kind of as a recoil reaction.
Oh, yeah, in like a wince of pain, he's going and just rip in a more of a means to like get away from the pain rather than to actually damage the machine, you rip off its upper two limbs. You'd hear the hissing of hoses as air just kind of spews out and doesn't find it where it's supposed to be going. The machine staggers forward and sputters. Whoop, 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 warning! Critical damage. Warning, repair required. One of the Belgarls lunges forward, not at you, but at the wounded machine. Immediately, it strips itself of one of its arms and begins to suture it onto the larger Garl's missing limbs. Repair protocols initiate. Focus is up.
I'm gonna study one more time, but I was hoping to study the environment to see if there's anything that could help us in this situation.
Sure, go ahead. Also, I will say, in terms of if you want to do something with the information I give you in the moment, I'd say go ahead. Because you're not just like standing there looking at things. You're capable of actively looking around while moving.
Turns out I really don't like looking at like creepy spider things, but like I do like looking at
Double
Wow.
fives.
Yeah, dashing, like kind of looking around, you do see, again, this is some sort of old observatory. Whether it was meant for the plants within, it's hard to tell, but it's definitely meant for biological life. The roof above is made of what used to be opaque glass, now covered and cracked by moss and root and plant and creature. You can see, if given the proper tools, the roof is probably collapsible, though anyone inside the observatory would be in grave danger.
Okay.
You also can tell that if you get anything to the ledges, they also, like, you could shove something off through the glass and whatnot. But it would take effort, and it's, not safe, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you
slip, you go with it.
You also notice, I guess through the opaque glasses, outside of just collapsing the roof, there are support cables in this holding it to the other ruins. If those were severed, the whole thing would fall.
Okay. And how many people are in the room right now?
The three of you and the 4 crew of the wire guys. So Captain Liao and the 3 were standing crew. Well, 2 standing and 1 dying.
2 standing screw, yeah.
As you're kind of running around and seeing the environment around, Liao finally notices you guys and your gang as you're fighting the larger Garl. Oh! Finally! Reinforcements! Please! One of my men is injured! Check on him! I cannot break away from what I'm doing!
Captain, I believe that's your expertise.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna go check on that man.
I mean, dashing forward and checking on him, he's pretty badly hurt. From what you can tell, from his injury, his right arm is shattered, as well as you can see a pretty blackening bruise and probably internal bleeding on his right side of his ribcage. Probably got struck by one of the limbs or legs of the tower spider. he is semi-conscious, very quickly going in and out of any state of coherency. Focus up.
Okay, let me bring it. I'm gonna take focus and being the smaller below, repairing the bigger one. I'm gonna take out my the refired pan,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna try to just swing at them both.
All right. Give a big old hearty sweep.
Time to Time to swat some flies.
Swat some flop.
No, that would be iron break the refired pan itself. And do I apply towering to that or no?
Not for the pan. No, the towering I'm mainly giving you as since you're physically fighting something that should be harder to fight, but you are bigger.
That's 5, 4, and 1 then.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you swing with all your might, slamming the pan into the two machines. A very loud metal clong as the pan impacts with metal on metal. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, the smaller machine immediately just crumples to the ground, having taken the majority of the brunt of the impact. Its machinery sputtering and eventually dying out on the ground. The limb it was attempting to attach hangs halfway onto larger Garl. Warning. Defensive actions required. Retaliation initiated. The upper body of the larger Gowl hisses for but a moment as steam and air pumps into its remaining limbs. You actually see the what looks like almost synthetic muscles, but it's just air pipes kind of bulge as the extra air comes in, and it just rotates. Like a fucking barbarian in Diablo, begins to spin its large wrench at a very lethal speed. Both Little Pot and Briars. You like to react? Or are you gonna just take it?
I'm gonna use my refired pen as a shield.
Okay. Briars?
It's definitely moving too fast for me to try to aim for the bellow to try to get this thing to shut off, so dodging is my best option. So I am going to Volton Instinct. So that would just be 2 dice. Don't fail me now, 2 dice! Triple threes! That's kind of failing me! Or double threes, not triple threes.
Little Pot, go and roll me a defense. With +1 for your tool.
Would that be instinct as well, or no?
I mean, I'd give probably more likely iron since you're resisting a blow.
Okay. 3 and 1. Oh boy.
Okay. You only need 2 dice there? Iron, your tool,
3 dice. That's right.
and then
That's worse.
well,
You got the
technically not. Technically, it's not worse. 3 and
In
2 are
other
the
words-
exact same result.
In other words, you did just as well as me, which is still not good.
Yeah. So Briars, You are not quick enough to dodge out of the way as mid-jump the large wrench just impacts with your waist instead of your torso. And just carries you on into Little Pot, whose cast iron pan is good defense, but the added weight of your companion still doesn't make it that much better. With a loud banging and a crunch, both of you go tumbling backwards. Little Pot, you do suffer 2 marks of damage, and Briars, you suffer 3.
Okay.
Briars, your lower left ligament is unresponsive.
As in my leg?
Oh, sorry, arm. I guess yeah, ligament includes legs.
Yeah.
Lower left arm is unresponsive. You definitely felt the hive weaken with the sudden death of a large chunk of them.
Yeah, if the thing is, if I remember correctly, if filling up a track means I no longer have access to that aspect until it is healed,
until
correct?
you're healed, yes.
So technically, both my additional arms just went down.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you could just say your
They-
entire left side is fried.
That is true. I have both. I got righty and righty too.
Yeah. But yeah, your left arms are crushed, and they don't function anymore.
Which definitely also leans into my erected mobility being crunched as well.
All right. Focus is up. Actually, and before you do that, cool. The lass who's been doing her best to fight, continues with flurries of cuts and shots and blows, pausing only momentarily to load in a new ball and dump a quick vat of chems into her pistol again, firing off shots. She's doing her best to carve her way towards you, actually. But she's currently assailed by 3 bellow garls, each wielding a variation of sickle or blade. Now focuses up.
Can I study my surroundings to see if there's anything I can use to splint this man?
Yeah, there's plenty. This is like there's branches and shit all over the place.
I would
There
like to.
Miscellaneous bullshit everywhere.
I would like to use some of those splints too.
Okay. There is also some. He has research equipment on him, so there's like some metal, like not necessarily like shoving it, just like minor plates and stuff on him.
Okay.
You need to, and some rope and whatnot.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to try and splint this man.
Assume splitting his arm.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
That's 3. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Scavenging around quickly on the ground and through this man's stuff. I mean, at this point, there's also a chunk of dead garls that just have metal scrap that make them up. You just kind of scavenge it up, wrapping around and tying them. You hear a groan as you forcefully straighten the man's arm back out. It is now tourniqueted as well, under the brace as best as it could be. You can tell he is suffering from probably, I mean, not even, definitely multiple broken ribs and probably internal bleeding.
Would you count blood as an impure liquid?
No.
Blood is pure blood.
Yeah. Technically, so I did do a deeper. Technically, impure is a label given to items. So when you find things or carve things or take things, there's a chance it is pure, impure, or like even better than normal. I should technically be rolling for that when you guys get loot.
Interesting.
But no, this person's blood is specifically not impure. It's pure blood.
Dang.
What if one of us spits in it?
Not enough. Not enough. And also not sanitary.
Fucking Mothra just spitting in this man's blood.
That is what we call in the business the ew grody.
The crew member in the exosuit shouts and gives out a flurry of blows, slamming with echoing metal on metal, doing his best to keep the tower spider back. With most dice, I roll the whole adventure. And with relative success, each punch kind of shifts the spider off kilter, and it takes a step back here and a step back there. But not without a bit of recourse, as in the midst of his flurry, a series of blades and claws slam down into his back, and you can see as they tear away, punctures through the rear of the metal, and a leaking of dark red fluid begins to flow from those holes. The tower spider itself rotates again, a new series of arms. This time, they look to be almost like a series of surgical tools. One of them ends in a medium-sized syringe and vial. A semi-dark brown ichor liquid rests within, and it begins to attempt to slam it into the exosuit. Though the man does his best parrying and stepping to the side, dodging out of the way of the blows. Captain Lau gives off a shout of, "Rolling, step back!" The exosuit less steps and more falls backwards onto its back as another bright blue and almost kind of purpley bioelectricity comes up, rises from Lau's chest and up through his arms and the tendrils that make up his hair, and blast out, striking at multiple limbs of the tower spider. It is a very colorful and powerful show of strength, and as it sputters out and finishes, you see Lau slowly drift down to the ground, panting, the edges of his fingers and his tendrils blackened by his own bioelectricity. "I can't keep this up much longer. You," he looks back at you, Lenoro. "Take that man. Get him out of here. Sahara, guide these crew out. I will stand with Roland and hold back the machine." The woman simply glances back at the captain. Lenore, you can see sorrow in her face for but a moment, and then a nod of acceptance. "Of course, Captain. We'll see you topside." Turns and, rushing back to you, Lenore. "Help me get him up, quickly." What do you do?
You said the liquid in the syringe was impure.
I didn't say it was impure. I said it was brown and sloshy. You don't know what it is.
Fuck, alright. I'll help get the man up.
I mean, so I will say, if you wanted to try to do something with the liquid, you could attempt it. You just don't know what it is.
I am okay. All right. Before I go to help, I would like to try and use chemical kinesis on the syringe.
This would mire your chemical kinesis. This is an unknown liquid.
Okay. Do I just mark any of my mires?
It would burn it.
Yeah,
You would
so-
have pretty much double click it.
Yeah, you double click the dot, and that can't be recovered unless you get specifically repairs done to that aspect.
Okay. All right. I would like to try and levitate and essentially take the syringe away and then try and inject it into the bellow guard itself.
It's the tower spider.
It's
The tower
that
spider.
has it.
Okay. Give me a roll with +1.
Sorry, I'm looking.
Well, you don't have a whole lot that would actually help you in this.
I was looking at concoct, but it doesn't look like
Concoct
it has
specifically is if you were like mixing that liquid with something, then that was what that would be used for. But no,
It's more so using the aspect itself.
yeah. So I guess using the aspect itself and using the mire, I will give you 3 dice.
Okay. Come on. Nope. 1, 2, 3.
I guess technically 4 because I did say a +1. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
The +1 because it's damaged. That is, yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
So that was 6, 5, 4, 2.
Yeah, so you, with great mental strain, reaching out, trying to find something to grasp onto this liquid, you can feel a throbbing in your own mind as you reach out to the smallest specks of impurity, and finally you find something within the concoction that shouldn't be, that's unnatural, that shouldn't exist within its own bearings. And you pull and yank, you find more and more and more, as the arm trying to slam down on the now prone exosuit stops and strains and slowly lifts backwards, sparking and spewing steam and smoke. Warning! Warning! Unit malfunctioning! Warning! Assist! And it's the large syringe comes slamming down into the core of the machine through its hole and its base frame. Here's some sputterings and spewings and sparking. It doesn't stop the machine, but it seems to have done an amount of damage because as it attempts to rotate, you see its body jam halfway through the rotation and then reset. Warning! Warning! System shift! Warning! System shift! Warning! The Bellogarls that were fighting you, Briars and Littlepot, immediately turn and run towards the tower spider. The larger one that was rotating immediately stops its spin and sprints off towards the spider as well. You hear multiple boxes repeating the lines about repair and protecting the Guardian. What do you guys do? focus up.
I will take focus. As I'm gonna quick ask Captain Liao, can you do at least one more bolt of lightning?
Looking at Liao, though he doesn't have eyes, you can see the exhaustion in his body, and again, you can see and almost smell the burnt flesh at the ends of his fingers and his tendrils. If I do another like that, I don't think I'll be in condition to walk out of here on my own. But yes, I can.
May not have to be as strong. As I'm going to take out or grab the crank light generator, as I'm going to pull off the cable that connects to the actual helmet, as I'm going to start cranking it.
Lao looks at you, and you see a small smile creep across his face. That's a stupid idea. He turns and runs. Roland, detach your generator! Get out of the suit! The exosuit kind of peels open at the front and clunks to the side and either side. And dark-skinned man comes out. You can see a puncture wound straight through his left shoulder. He gets up. Whatever you say, Captain! Pulling the generator out with him. Liao takes it and starts cranking it as well. You can see the bioelectricity pulsing through his body. He looks back to you, Briars. Hand me yours!
As I'm gonna hand it over and say, hey, if you're good at aiming, I can chuck both.
I don't need to aim. Just stand back.
On it.
The man named Roland kind of looks to you and reaches a hand out. A little help here.
Come on, bud. I may be missing use of 2 arms, but I still got 2 left.
More than I do.
Let's keep moving.
He limps off with you. You could hear and feel the static electricity build and build. As Liao is no longer cranking the machines, he's simply absorbing the electricity that's now sparking off of them. With a short burst of light and electricity and static, there is a moment of almost absolute silence, and then the whoomp and boom of thunder and lightning as in front of Liao, a large scorch mark across trees and grass and rock, like a physical lightning strike from the skies having blasted through the ground, arcs through the tower spider, through several of the garls that are already upon it doing maintenance, blasting them to pieces, and a smoldering hole through the tower spider. The tower spider gives a hissing as its gears and joints sputter and die. Protect. Just crumples onto the ground. Captain Liao kind of stumbles down and back a little bit before dropping what is left of the generators onto the ground. They're smoldering wrecks. One of them basically half molten with the heat and electricity that was forced out of them. He limps and walks back towards you, the group. As he does so, you do, Lunaro, you hear it first and kind of feel it. Sound of creaking metal and the sudden shifting of the observation platform. It seems the tool you might have needed to collapse this thing or the ceiling above was easily replaced by a man blasting lightning through it instead.
Uh-oh.
The creaking becomes loud, snapping, and the horrible sound of bending and twisting metal as the platform slowly bends backwards. What do you guys do?
I'm going to alert everyone to get out of the platform and above it.
I'm
But
gonna go.
more so shouting at the screw.
I don't think there's. Is there? Do we have a screw? That's one of them.
I
No,
thought Captain Leo had a screw.
No,
no,
he's a
no.
tempest.
He doesn't
No,
have
no,
a screw.
had.
No, he does not have a screw.
Okay.
He
I think that
is
was a
a
different
tempest.
person on the boat.
Yeah, someone else is a screw. I mean, he might have had a screw, but they're probably dead. They're certainly not here.
Hey, it may be the one that I got my generator from.
Maybe. Yeah, Liao stops for about a moment to kind of register what you're saying, and then hearing the sudden plinking and plonking of bending and breaking steel, nods and kind of picks up his pace, following alongside the rest of you. It's not a complicated task getting out before platform tilts and breaks and actually just bends in half as the opposite side tumbles down into the darkness below. And it's not the breaking of platform that's a problem, it's the sudden burst of Cresarine coming in and around the ruins that is actually becoming a problem. Sudden disturbance in atmosphere and probably the shattering of something spore-like below. Yeah. Now a rising cloud of Cresarine billowing out and around.
We're gonna need to leave quick.
Agreed. How many injured do we have with us right now? People who aren't in the condition to run away.
2 technically. That would be Roland and the man who already down and out. Technically, Liao is also in a state of injury. It's hard to tell what exactly it is, obviously, because it's self-inflicted. And also Briars is missing half his limbs.
Don't worry, I'm all right now. That's a stupid joke.
Briars dies.
No! The colony hearing that joke disperses.
Fucking
Can I
Christ.
try and wave walk ahead and see if I can get run into anyone who might be able to assist?
Sure.
Right.
Simply give me the wave rock. Actually, don't even give me the wave rock roll. Roll me a single d6.
See if we're lucky enough to even find anyone who followed us.
5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you dash off for about a minute. Until you run into a couple of scavengers. They look like they look like they probably come from either the dragon's screw or the 2-footed sting. They're definitely combat equipped, not like scavenger equipped. They're here to hunt. There's 3 of them. They look at you and we're coming this way. I heard all that noise and I was hoping for a right proper fight.
The fight's taken care of. We've found Captain Liao. We just need help assisting him and his men out of here.
God, wow. We thought him lost days ago. Right. We'll follow you.
Thank you. And I rush him back to the crew.
All right, rushing back. Yeah, I mean, with the aid of the extra members, it is not a difficult task to quicken pace and outpace the rising Reserine, as it consumes the ruins. You all make it back to the riggings and the personal elevators that go back up onto the Glitter Crest. Finally seeing the last rays of light of the day break through the canopy above. Captain Lau looks to you guys, to the crew of the Scylla's Lullaby. I appreciate you coming to assist us. I don't think we would have gotten out of there if it wasn't for the attention and aid of your crew. We're forever grateful. You're always welcome aboard my ship. Ugh. It's a shame to have lost those motors. It's pre-verdant tech we had to burn out, but I don't think I'll be going below the waves anytime soon again.
And that thing will never be moving again if we're lucky.
If we're lucky. I've heard stories of things, of contraptions like that. Fortunately, it wouldn't be the last one in existence. Another of those mysterious horrors beneath the waves. Stories we tell our children, huh?
A fine story to tell aboard the Glitter Crest.
Oh, it is right by Kill here in aboard the Glitter Crest, and I'd feel a little wrong keeping hold of this. He reaches out and claps a no longer lit mechanical eye in one of your hands. Congratulations on your first successful hunt, yeah?
Thank you.
Lunarl just kind of looks at Captain Liao and nods before like pointing to his injured men and himself. Will you be needing any assistance getting these crew over to the Root and Keel?
As you say that, it's actually Captain It's Duck Dick. As you rise up to the decks, is already waiting there with the medical crew. Ah, Captain Lau. It's good to see you back on the Glitter Crest. It seems my teachings have worked well. He glances to you, Lunarl, his twitching limbs and head, kind of a nod of respect a little bit.
Oh, yay.
Thank you for keeping alive, my best chess friend. Yeah, moves over to Liao, who just kind of slumps against one of the railings and kind of just accepts the weird, like, patchwork that the doctor begins to do, shifting a limb and tendril, only a spider's quickness. He begins barking orders at some of the other medical team to tend to the other wound. Briars, he looks to you. Dead colony you have in limbs.
Unfortunately, yes.
A cultural exchange might be in place. Or I can try and send you off to skin market traders.
Well, if you're willing to do an exchange, I bet there's something that we both could learn.
There is always knowledge in the colony. Wait at your ship. I will visit you later. We'll tend to the wounded first.
Absolutely. That one's definitely has something wrong with his ribs. But I bet you already know that.
Yes, I am a doctor.
Loon kind of smirks.
He turns back to tending to the wounded, and the other crews move things back and forth. You guys are left relatively alone as you go about, whether you're returning to Scylla's Lullaby or whatever else you might be doing. What are you guys doing?
Briars is gonna take a nap.
Fair.
Little pot, do you need any healing? Should you head over to the root and keel?
Before he goes to healing, he's gonna go to the captain of the crew that we just saved
Lao.
to hand over the satchel of research items that he still had on him.
Okay. Lao looks at you in actual surprise. This isn't something I expected to get back, and I appreciate it. This is important research data for Resurrect and potential cleansing of areas, and in hopes to keep the next heart tree from collapsing to whatever brought down the first. I appreciate your due diligence in bringing this to me. I'll find some way to repay you. Thank you.
You can repay me by paying for my medical bill. As he just kind of falls over.
This 8-foot tall thing crumples. My everything
like-
hurts.
I get a little shopping cart and plop you in it and start taking it.
Rough to see. The doctor is the wonderful doctor. So here, the nearest one, please.
Does anyone have a workhorse, please?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you just kind of slump onto the ground in a tired heap. Briar, as you venture off back to the Scylla's Lullaby to get your rest. Lunar, what are you up to?
I also could probably use a little bit of healing, so once the majorly wounded are taken care of, I would like to try and get myself in Little Pot scene.
I mean, you'll all get seen. Like, the doctor is going to go to the Scylla's Lullaby. There will be medical crew that arrives.
Then I would like to try and get Little Pot and myself back to Scylla's Lullaby.
Yeah, you guys get back to the ship just fine.
Hooray!
It's funny to imagine it's at most 5 foot your character is what, under 5 foot?
Yeah, I think we said that she was 4'3" or something like that.
We just lugging an 8-foot cactus.
I'm just a little 10-year-old, okay?
Definitely got assistance from other crew.
I just, somehow not damaging my wings, dump you over my shoulder and walk off.
Just picks up in one hand, just kind of.
You wanna piggyback wide? Oh my gosh, want the captain? Oh,
I'm 90% sure that if you attempted that, you would just immediately fall backwards.
People would see what
Hitting yourself in the
frog
action
looks like. Yeah.
Right. No, you guys make your way back to the Scylla's Lullaby, and yeah, it's a pretty energy-filled night as the rest of the scavenging, adventuring, hunters slowly make their return back as the room becomes less and less explorable due to the Cresarine. You hear a lot of hooping and hollering and men telling stories of what they found and things they fought. A lot of people coming back with remains of Belogarl's heads and arms and metal plates and blades and whatnot. Whether they actually fought and killed them themselves, it's hard to tell. You guys alone saw quite a few just old scrapped remains, so good chance a couple of them simply just nabbed what they could and came up with a very fun story. Yeah, the day passes, well, the night passes, and day comes. You are all awoken by morning wake-up horns for different cruise ships. I guess all of you would hear attention, crew of the Scylla's Lullaby. This is Captain Menkra asking to board.
Loon walks towards the edge of the ship and welcomes the captain aboard.
I realized I didn't change my voice for that. Menkra smiles and then steps aboard and thank you so much. It's so good to see you back in one piece. I heard you had such a daring adventure. Captain Lau, I don't know if he added any extra color to it, but if what he says is true and what you fought down there truly was a tower spider, wow. I wish I could have gotten a good look at it. It's not often we get to see such technologies, and really it is a bit of a shame to have lost those pre-verdant generators, but it's good to have you back. Thank you for saving the scientists and research team. Here I've brought you some tea. The smiles as he pulls up a kind of dangerous looking kettle. It's a mixture, so it has like a pot on it. It's also sitting like on a weird vibrating battery that is plugged straight into the pot, and you do kind of get the tingling of static electricity. Do you have a table or something we can sit at?
Yes, please, this way. And I lead them closer to the galley.
Okay, heading down below deck into the galley. She sets the teapot aside. I've made this myself. It's a self-boiling water kettle. It works most of the time. She lifts the lid and sprinkles in some leaves and whatnot. And, nice morning brew. I like to drink it myself most days. It gets me a bit more spry throughout my morning. Not really much of a morning person, as one might guess, but figured you could use a nice drink after such a harrowing day. I'm sure your muscles and your everything are horrible agony. Tell me, what was it like fighting those machines down there? She reaches into her pocket and pulls out like a cloth wrapping and opens it up, and there's a mixture of different like biscuits and cookies. She kind of just places it down on the table and begins to eat He wanted. He looks at you. You. Please have some. I made these a couple of days ago.
Loon smiles wide and nods and graciously takes the offering. Um, it was surprisingly terrifying, but it seems that all the bellow guards and the tower spider itself rely on pretty similar weaponry. We noticed as we were going throughout the runes that we would find exosuits and remains of sailors completely rifled with vines, and found that many of those had syringes found on their bodies. So when I saw the same guards using those syringes, um, I knew that it could have served us well. I just wish that I could have gotten my hands on one to keep and study. Knowing what was in that concoction would have been quite the discovery for me.
Nods and she's just very jitterily like writing in her notebook. Use syringes, strange vine growths. Um, bellow garlands. I haven't gotten to see one myself. What made up their machinery? What were they like? Did they speak? Did they talk? Do you know binary? Did you speak to the machines?
They would let out I would like to say momentary, but it felt quite often warnings for anyone around it. Um, and those warnings tend to be a lot more understandable for most of us.
Interesting. They spoke low, sour, or understandable language. Um, all right. Warnings. I wonder if you can hold a conversation with them. Next time I'll have to make sure we get a specimen back to test this. Maybe one of the heads is still functional. I'll ask one of the hunter crews to see if I could borrow or take one of their trophies. Though they are very sticklers to keeping their findings.
Mm-hmm.
He leans over and grabs a kettle and pours it into some simple metal cups that she's brought with her. Sips from her own and puts it down. Right. I want to make sure that you're doing all right, and you know, if there's anything you need, please let me know. I can concoct up something for you to at least soothe your injuries, or potentially if you're having nightmares or anything, I can see if I might be able to brew something to ease your nights or days.
I would gladly accept any of those offerings. My crew are a bit damaged after the fight, but we are recovering, and any help in the process would be loved and appreciated.
Of course, of course. I am not only keen at repairing holes in wood, I can repair the soul and the body in my own special way.
I seem to have taken some especially intense injuries, uh, but it's hard to describe. Mostly within my own head, my own mind. Uh,
Yes, I can a mental block almost, yes. Um mm, I have a brew for you. I have something I can concoct. You'll have to drink it twice a day for a week.
I can do that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. Do note that you'll probably experience a bit of dizziness and loss of time. But yeah, just rifling through multiple pouches in her backpack and pulls out a couple and she's kind of mixing together leaves and bits of powder into a vial. She closes it up and hands it to you. A pinch of this each morning, and with whatever your second meal of the day is, should clear your mental blockage. If it doesn't, I apologize for the side effects.
I appreciate your attempt at help, and hopefully it's a successful one.
Agreed. Well, I wish not to take up more of your time. There's much to do this morning. We are going to be setting sail once again, so I need to prep my ship and my crew.
Thank you for your visit.
Of course. A friend of the Gooder Crest is always a friend of mine. Stands and kind of like half skips, half walks out of the galley and off the ship.
I made a find.
Yeah, you have we'll call it what I want to call it. I didn't think about what to name this. I forgot I have to give you a thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want me to put in a track? Meyer recovery.
Sure. Yeah. Do that. That way I don't have to come up with a name for this concoction of tea that I gave you.
We'll just call it Mencro's tea.
Sure.
From last time, I still have 4 specimens I need.
What's that?
From last session.
Oh, right. Who was giving that to you?
Just the various chefs of the
Oh, that's right. Yeah, just the chefs. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah, from the sap shell.
Yep.
How many tracks do you want me to put on that? Or marks? Do you want me to put?
Do 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah. So, little pot, add to your inventory. A scything limb. A bundle of insectoid flesh. A seed husk. And we'll do a dew vine. That's 4, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You add that to your own specimens, or you get it to the ship's supply if you want to. But yeah, is there anything you guys wanted to do before the day creeps on? Whatnot?
Briars is, though not fully recovered, is going to learn from Kokazat to finish off the track that I have to learn how to use rattle.
Okay. You would take cuts because you are missing 2 limbs.
That is very true.
Oh, because it's a physical labor thing that requires your arms. You will lose out on it. So I just recommend probably not doing it right now.
I'll wait on it right now.
Okay.
Pasta's gonna be resting.
Okay.
Got shot.
We'll also be resting.
All right. Well, you guys come to find that rest is a very easy thing to come across in the coming days, as the Glitter Crest readies itself and prepares the ships for departure. About a week's time goes by. In that week, if you step out and watch and look, you can see where the ruins was. The forest begins to slowly and steadily take hold again, and it is once again lost and covered underneath thick branch and leaf. Once again, Wildseas take claim to old world technology.
Would you like us to roll recovery dice?
No. Due to a extended period of time, you let's see. Loon, your elegant wings recover, as well as your actually, I'm not going to do the chemokinesis. Elegant wings and your born to sail traits recover. Little pot, your towering and your cactus flesh recover. Briar, your limbs and your arachnid mobility recover.
Completely.
Yes.
Yippee.
In that time, do I make any
Yes, give me
progress?
Give me 2 checks. Oh, give me a check.
The Christie?
Yes.
Perfect.
In 2 weeks' time, in a week's time, Glittercrest begins to be fully ready for departure, having restocked its supplies and whatnot, with hunting and things around the area. You guys spend a lot of your time resting, recovering from your injuries, but you do find a good amount of leisure time. If there's anything or anyone you would like to try and spend time with here, feel free to let me know. Outside of that, at some point throughout this week or the coming days, Captain Liao will like to have a word with your crew, as well as after that you are called to visit the fleet captain for conversation.
Crew, do you need to see anyone first?
Nothing that is urgent.
Okay, then I think we
it doesn't-
shall meet
I'm
with
gonna say-
Captain Liao first.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it doesn't need to be urgent. If you simply wish to do character building, and do that. It's an opportunity for you guys if you would like to take some time, because we are reaching a point where you are able to depart from the Glitter Crest.
Wahoo.
Okay. Also, I'm assuming with the full heal on that, me and I'm going to completely butcher this. It's Kits did the cultural exchange.
That is actually one thing I will allow you to have a conversation about.
Okay.
So, some point throughout the week, yes, it's tactic shows up at your bedside. Not with medical supplies, not with anything of that nature, but instead in a very casual fit, See his patchwork skin suit he's definitely got an old skin. This one's gotten a good bit of wear, patchwork, stitching's redone. His long, unnaturally length limbs twist and shift, and sits down. So, my friend, you have suffered quite a loss to your colony.
Yes, I have. As his two arms have been. Well, his colony has been busy removing the dead from the skin suit, as his two extra arms are practically just flattened up against his torso, just wrapped up.
Yeah. I can provide you with extra colonies. Not enough for both of your limbs, unfortunately. You'll have to resupply after the exchange. But I can provide you with information about a skin lottery. About more of our kind to be exchanged with. They are not a savory bunch, not as welcoming as the glitter rest.
I assume that you refer to some of the skin thieves.
I have no connections to skin thieves, but these are probably a side family. An off-kin, one might call them. Though they are kind enough to our kin, to the hives, they are not as friendly to skin walkers. The manlings and the Mothrans are at risk.
I would not put them at risk.
That is understandable. So, you will do the culture exchange. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Due to his inability to fully revitalize your hive, though your arms are covered, I will give you a wire to well, actually, I would like you to note that you have a cut. Any task that requires you to use all of your limbs.
Okay.
Until you find either another fuck these guys are called.
I say Zelicray.
Yeah, that's a fair yeah, Zelicray. Yeah, Zelicray. Until you find another Zelicray willing to do an exchange, your left arms are lacking. Usable but lacking.
Okay.
I will say, until that cultural exchange as well, you'll get a +1 dice to any medical check you do on yourself.
Okay.
And though you are not wanting to risk the crew, its tactic does give you a chart.
Okay.
Create a chart titled Skittering Limbs and Marred Skin.
Limbs and marred skins.
That is used as you see fit. Yeah, might have special uses. Yeah, so Tick, you guys do the exchange. Is there anything else anyone would like to do? Little pot, is anyone you wanted to visit or talk to before we move on?
No, he really got what he needed.
Okay.
Not much of a socializer when it comes to other cars or his own species. So
Fair. Lunarl, was there anyone you wanted to visit or talk to before we go?
I mean, I want to have that conversation with Liao and then also Uzbeka, but
Outside of those. That's what I mean by moving.
okay. No, just working on making sure that I'm taking Menkra's tea and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to make sure, in case if you guys want to make any kind of character connections, you are welcome to.
Okay.
No. The time passes on. And yeah. First comes Captain Lau and his first mate, Roland. They are well bandaged, and Liao's hands are covered in. You can kind of smell some sort of it's like a medical paste under his wrappings. He does seem to have little use of his fingers right now. He sits down with all of you, probably in the galley. Well, it is my great honor to give a formal introduction. I am Captain Liao, head of the Wiregeist and lead scientist aboard the vessel. I manage the research teams in the Gudocrest, as well as any R&D that might be done. I've got a decent knowledge of old world tech and old world in general, really. Do a lot of research on my end. I appreciate your assistance below the waves. It was very brave and bold, if not a little stupid for what you did. Your stupidity that I am thankful for. I know it was to much harm to your personal selves to come to the aid of me and my crew, and I am not fool enough to let that by. So if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. If there is something within my supplies I can provide to you, take it. And I have set aside some equipment. If you would like to have a look, I can provide you with at least some of it I can pass up on. So, if you would please come with me to the Wiregeist. If there's nothing else you wish to discuss, we can look through some of the supplies. If there's anything you guys wanted to talk about with Lau, you may.
What does the Wiregeist specialize in?
The Wiregeist is the research ship on the in the Glittercrest, in the fleet.
Remember those chemicals in the crates?
Yeah, they specialize in fiddling and mandolin. There are a bunch of rattles. There are a bunch, like a lot of them are scientists and weird mages, and yeah, they build and create and craft off of new and old technology. Hence the exosuits. The unfortunate loss of them is unfortunate, but those were things they made off of the micro engine, the micro generators that were provided and found. Yeah.
I'd be mostly interested in talking to them about like possible ship upgrades they could do.
Yep. Yeah, nods and yeah. I mean, I can very easily get my crew to rig up just about anything. We have some things preset aside, extras that we've had around the ship for a while now that we've already helped kit out other ships with, and we're planning to do so. But I'm willing to shift the resources to Scylla's lullaby. Here I have pulls out a couple of sheets, blueprints and designs. One of them displays what looks to be some sort of cannon, split top to bottom, well, from one end to the other is the top half and the lower half. Its design talks about using a series of electrically charged magnets to lob materials at a high rate of speed. Its testing has led to unstable discharges of electricity. No harm has been done to anyone firing the weapon so far, but simply don't stand to the sides of it.
Sounds kind of like a shrapnel cannon.
Another is a series of again, like large magnets that go around the hull that repulse themselves in a means to give an almost floating effect to the bottom of a ship. Would help glide ship across branches and stuff at a much easier pace. Now probably less useful for a ship of your type with its tendrils that pull and crawl. But if need be, it does give technically levitation.
Okay.
And lastly is a blueprint that marks I guess we would call it an electric overdrive to an engine. It's not an engine in and of itself, but it would allow for sudden bursts of relatively safe overcharging. Those are the specific ship designs he has that he's made.
I'd be very intrigued in the shrapnel cannon-esque one.
He looks to you. Well, I mean, it's not quite a shrapnel cannon. It's a bit more precise. Imagine, if you fired like a ballista, but instead of using the bindings and tightened ropes to launch it, instead, the resistances and pulls of different magnetic and electrical pulses at high rates down the length of the ballista that lobs something at extreme speed. High accuracy, a little dangerous if you're standing to the side of the machine, but from what I've tested, it can punch through a lot. As a reference, we shot down a mantis drake with it. Took its head clean off.
Sound good, crew?
How fun was it?
I will definitely be able to make use of it.
Okay. That
I'll
sounds
shoot
wonderful.
that. Okay.
Just add that to charts for now since it's a blueprint, or
No, it will be applied to the ship. Ba-ba-da-ba-da.
I'll be right back. I have to use the restroom.
Okay. Yeah, so he installs onto your ship a storm rail. A series of brass rods that channel electricity and objects to launch them, almost like a Gauss rifle.
neat.
Oh,
Cool.
yeah. So it fires electrified projectiles.
Hell yeah.
Useful against if we find any machines out there, or, well, living things don't like it either.
Useful against literally anything. It does massive long-range volt damage.
Yep.
So yeah, this crew gets to work on installing it. Where are you installing that, by the way?
Because we can't put it on the front, because that's where the harpoon turret is.
Lower deck?
I mean, it would not be as useful. It's not really meant to be below deck.
Could we put it on?
In fact, actually, I believe it has to be on the deck.
Let's see.
Yeah, it says it has to be somewhere topside.
Yeah, it's deck.
Well, if we want to cover our blind spot, we could put it on the back.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me.
So it is a rear mounting. It'll cover your anything in your rear arc. Yeah,
Broadside cannons for the side, harpoon turret to the front, storm rail to the back.
fair. Yeah,
We got the strap.
yeah, he nods and goes off on his way to take care of things and whatnot. Unless, was there anything else you wanted to talk about with Liao before moving on? Anything to ask him or his first mate?
I will at least ask how the other people are faring from the excursion.
Well, Hara, like normals, and made it out with mainly just bruises and scratches. Her uncanny ability to weave in and out of a battlefield is astonishing, honestly. I don't think I'd ever be able to research such skills in my lifetime. Our other crew member is in and out. We're told he'll recover, but next time we find port, we might be replacing him as crew. Unfortunate, but I'm glad he's at least alive.
Yes, and I bet so is he. After a wound like that, not many would want to get back up.
Fair.
Was your crew able to experiment with any of the chemicals that you had found?
Not much. I mean, the returned research data we got is currently still being gone over. Without the supplies that we had recovered, though, it's a little harder to actually put the notes to use.
Loon absolutely is desperate to get her hands on whatever what was in that friggin' vial.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give me the syringes.
Whatever that big guy had, he took it down with him.
Give me syringe, thank you.
Yeah, is there anything else?
Nope.
So first of all, when I first put after a bit of time so passes, finally, Fleet Captain Uzbeka arrives at Scylla's Lullaby as you guys are working away, probably loading the coils and stuff required for maintenance of the weapon has been installed back of the ship. Uzbeka stands at the boarding plank. Fleet Captain Uzbeka Brassbite, questing permission to board.
Welcome aboard, Captain Uzbeka. Thank you for visiting Scylla's Lullaby yet again.
Smiles and steps aboard. Falling behind her is her first mate, the bulky Ectus Beck. He stands in a very quiet, serious stance near the captain. Uzbeka, her fiery red hair in a fine ponytail, like kind of a lazy ponytail that drapes over her shoulder. Her attire, though official, is very loosely laid over her body. She definitely doesn't really care about her title of captain, of fleet captain. She's not one to brandish it seems. Well, thank you for letting me aboard, Captain Lunaro.
Of course.
It is my understanding that a few days ago you had a very interesting encounter below the waves during our little expedition. I will give first my thanks for going down and rescuing our research team. What we would do without them, I'm unsure. I wouldn't find much rest without the very tiring lectures of Lau and his crew.
We saw a need for help, and we provided what we could. That's all. Nothing for intense things over.
You say that, but it is very rare to find such generosity out here in the seas. So you'll have my thanks nonetheless. So, we are sailing off towards deeper waters, more dangerous plains. We've heard tales of a machine out near Third Heart Tree. Plan to venture out there. If you wish to join us for the venture out, you are more than welcome to stay with the Glittercrest. But I know you sail the seas in your own paths, in your own ways, and I do not wish to keep you more than you intend to stay.
I've just begun my journey on my own with Scylla's Lullaby, and I think I'd like to continue it, but we have truly, truly appreciated our time apart at the Glittercrest.
We've surely enjoyed your company. We appreciate you. And again, thank you much for what you've done in such a short amount of time. You will not be forgotten aboard the Guttercrest, young Mothrin.
Thank you, Captain.
Well, we will begin the tasks of unbinding the Scylla's lullaby, and when you are ready, we'll begin the final separations in due time. For now, please find your way to the dining ship. We'll have a little celebration for all of you and for your departure and safe travels in the seas. Oh, Briars, was it?
That would be me.
Either before or after the meal, make sure to speak to Torogs. He's might have found some information you might be interested in. An old book of migration paths.
That sounds wonderful.
Well, I have a ship to steer and a crew to manage. I will be on my way, but if you need anything before you go, please never hesitate to say hello. You're always welcome aboard the Guttercrest. He nods and smiles, a little wink.
Mommy.
she turns on heel, with a little flourish and very
I've been such a good girl since I noticed me.
she walks away.
Luna's like completely beaming and like vibrating with excitement. And also there's a party going on. So.
There's a party going on.
And also she's about to get a little Mothwin drunk. Just saying. Does anyone have any tracks that they need to finish before we leave the Glitter Crest?
My tracks do not require us to stay here at the moment.
Okay. Alright.
Well then, you guys,
Thanks, Tequila.
You guys, a little time relaxing before the night's celebrations. Mixture of meats and stews and broths and booze are brought out to the root and keel. Not the root and keel. What did I have as the fucking...
Weathered sap shell.
Oh yeah, there it is. Weathered sap shell. Thank you. With the sap shell, extra tables laying out on its deck, and celebratory music played as you begin to enjoy the night's ventures, drinks, and whatnot. Is anyone indulging in alcohol?
Yeah.
Yes, all of us. We're all drunk.
Yep. Yep, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, through drinks and excitement, you guys spent a nice hearty night of celebration. Was there anyone you guys wanted to talk to during the celebrations?
Is Ozbecca there?
Yes. Captain Ozbecca is there at the head table.
Hey, girl.
Oh no.
Captain.
Briar, who is definitely going to be a little light on the drinks, mainly to make sure that there is no extra tomfoolery. I would at least like the captain to save some face.
I would like to roll for charisma.
Yeah, I mean, you're
you.
drinking a good amount. Give me, honestly, I'd say give me like a brace.
I don't have brace.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but that's what you're rolling.
Or sense. Probably
Oh,
sense.
great. Okay, so just one. Okay, cool.
A 1.
Uh,
A grand total
You-
of 1.
you stand up and you see Uzbeka laughing heartily to her first mate and whatnot. Standing up, you begin to walk over and maybe about halfway there before. That's not staying down, and you just
Briars is going
face
to
plant
quickly,
into the floor.
quickly attempt to recover this.
Uzbeka,
Okay, little one.
Uzbeka glances over, and a couple of the other crews look down at the collapsed Mothran. There's a decent chuckle around the ship, and Uzbeka raises her mug into the air. To the crew of the Scylla's Lullaby, and a most hearty drink to them. She downs another pint of booze. Many of the
You're lucky
crews.
your saving grace is you're cute, and she found that adorable, I guess.
Much of the crews and captains cheer and laugh and chug a drink. A couple of them pat Lunaro on the back and the other in Little Pot and Briars and multiple people are like talking, again, a lot of talk of adventures and whatnot. Kokazah is actually out here too. He's telling an exaggeratedly wilder tale of your guys' brawl with the Thunderbird.
No, not the bird.
They've seen the bird.
He talks about how wild you were. You leapt up and grasped and wrestled it in the air, to try to free itself from your grasps. And how Lunaro, even with the gusts of winds and hurricane-like blows from the batting wings of the beast, and also flown up and swirled and dove at the beast. And I can imagine Little Pot is an extreme heavyweight due to both size and taste.
Taste test.
Oh, true.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
you're literally immune to getting drunk. Alcohol is a poison.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Luna's just like sitting on the floor upright and like circling.
Briars
Just
is currently counting how much you've actually drank, looks over the Little Pot, is concerned that they're a little too close in number.
Wow, Dad, Captain Uzbeka is so cool.
So
Yes, very cool, Captain. Very cool.
I really admire her.
Mm-hmm.
Flops.
Drink this water. Drink the water.
I could go for some more stew, honestly. That sounds good.
Sideways
Not
on the
stupid,
ground. I can go for more stew, like cuddling, like her burnt cup. Oh. Yeah. The party goes throughout the night and into the morning as one man was very stupid enough to challenge the Little Pot to a drink off. Well into the morning. This man is now a drooling, bubbling mess at your table as Little Pot. Yeah, you've had quite a few contenders throughout the night if you've accepted them. A mixture of different concoctions of liquids and whatnot. You're pretty sure some were actually poison. You don't really
Just
know.
straight up something trying to kill you. The funny thing is, if I remember correctly with taste testing, he would know what poison it is
Yeah.
too.
True. Yeah, that is
And I
actually
can
the.
determine their presence and characteristics by taste alone.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, like you can tell some of them like they aren't blatantly like trying to kill anyone with it, but it's due to like the poisonous traits that they give this extra like tingle and kind of an additive, almost like a high to your drink. You can taste that in a couple of them, like a similar. um, but yeah, eventually, different crews disperse and whatnot throughout the night, and I'm sure Lunarl is taken back to Cecilla's lullaby. And yeah, with that, the day passes. Though you wake with a bit of a hangover and headache, Lunarl, you're fine.
Oh, yay.
And the day rises with the final honors and celebrations being done to separate Lucilla's lullaby from the Glitter Crest. Also in the morning, Briars, you do see Captain Torog's
Yep.
standing at the helm of his ship.
I will head over to him and greet him.
Uh,
Captain Trog.
Brief nod. Welcome aboard. I was back in many tasks as found me to seek out some information that you might have interest in. Glitter Crest is an old vessel, and ships that come and go are older and younger in times as well. But we get a lot of information traded and offered and spoken of. We heard you were hunting a Leviathan of white nature. Seems you found the beast itself, though at an inopportune timing. Scavenging through some of our old hunting works and writings and mappings, I have found a chart of migration paths for Iron Jaws. Specifically, a older migration path that might be what you're seeking. The beast is as old as it might seem, then I doubt it's changed its life pathing since it was born. So, here, take this. Whatever you find at the end of your journey, I hope you come back alive.
That is definitely the plan. Thank you.
If not, die with glory. He closes his hands in a fist and slaps it twice against his chest in a kind of a warrior salute of probably whatever tribe he comes from.
As he'll at least mimic it.
Safe winds and good travels. Both you and your captain.
You as well.
The Glitter Crest itself blares out a loud horn, and multitudes of drums begin to clamber up and a beat. And throughout the ships, you can hear different instruments catching up onto a tune. As the Glitter Crest beats its drums for the departure of Scylla's lullaby and the safe sailings of its crew. as the last binding ropes are released from the sides of the ships and drawn back onto the Glitter Crest, the multitude of engines and props and saws rev up as the Glitter Crest begins to pull away. After a short distance is made, a series of flares of different colors and designs and flight paths fly up from the different ships as a final farewell. So, who's taking helm? Who's at watch? And what are you guys doing?
I'll probably be at watch.
Dara? Lunara, would you like to take helm? Cat?
Sorry, just got back.
You missed your final goodbyes. Wow.
Was Becca there?
Yeah, you missed it.
No. Did she give me a smooch?
No,
No.
you weren't.
Oh,
You
okay.
weren't there to respond. So, she offered.
She offered. Listen, I was in the little chamber pot. I was in the little Mothrin's chamber pot. All right.
But yeah, so you guys have departed from the Glitter Crest. I'm asking for who's taking what roles. Watch, helm, anything else that needs to be done.
Little Pot said he's on watch.
Would the captain like to take helm for the first voyage out?
Yeah, let's take home.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say that you guys do know that the Glitter Crest currently sails for Milu, the third heart tree. Seems they have some business with ironbounds or boss ships of some kind. Maybe they're hunting bandits. Who knows? That is their next task. Briars, the chart you were given seems to path towards the fourth heart tree, Tamil. Its uninhabited surroundings seem to be very inviting mating ground for different species, including ironjawns.
Noted.
Are you gonna pass that information along to me? Shall we?
I will at least mention it. However, Briars will also mention our ship might not be able to handle that yet.
Cowards.
Only one way to find out.
Rotates back to the other similarly sized ship that was split apart by lightning. Anyways.
Yes, that's what I am referring to.
That one was all wood, though.
That is true. Bare minimum, maybe something to make the lightning less, what's the word I'm looking for? Murderous.
Less lightningy?
little less lightningy.
Is there a port in that direction that we could sail?
You do know that the mountain range does. You will have to go around the mountain. Get there. What did I name this? I know I originally called it the Ridgeback Mountains, then I changed it. Did you write down what I changed it to? I
can't remember what the entire range was called because I at least remember that I am from Skybreak.
I'll call them Skybreak Mountains. Easy peasy. 'Cause
I'm from Skybreak Mountain. Is it? Where was
This is at
it?
the Brokeback Mountain.
The Sills explodes.
I wish I could hit you.
Oh no!
But you will have to go around at least the Skybreak Mountain itself, as well as the range that it is part of. So there is some potential roughback tribes you might run into, some ports along there. Outside of that, yeah, there should be some minor towns out on the seas, branches and whatnot. Though, again, proper mapping is difficult due to how the seas shift and change. Where did I put that? Here it is. So yeah, you do have notate of the town of Ekeklu. Should be out on your journey there. Well as the town of Hawkswood. Hawkswood is closer to the mountains. It is a trade town with roughnecks, whatever. Ridgebacks. They are one of their primary connections with the outer world. So you'll find a good amount of Ridgebacks there, alongside of a conglomerate of Ardents and Ectus. But yeah, so they're a destination you guys wish to seek. You also know the locations of each of the other heart trees. Visit any of those.
I'd like to head towards the 4th heart tree, and we can make a pit stop at the mountains.
Okay. Heading towards to Mew, 4th heart tree. I guess your first destination would be, if you're heading towards the mountains themselves, it would be Skybreak Mountain and the tribe there. That will be it's a distance, so I will note a 6 mark track of travel. Probably be a month or so or something. So you'll be sailing. And real quick, I need to run to the bathroom, so talk amongst yourselves in character.
Sure.
Wow, that Captain Ozbecca, though. Am I right?
I am.
Contain yourself.
Did you see her? That ponytail.
Yes, we saw her. Contain yourself.
She doesn't take her status seriously. She doesn't take her look seriously. She doesn't need to.
Lilliput's uncomfortable with sensation. Lilliput retreats to kitchen.
And there he goes. Lilliput does not talk about
Loon
women. He
follows.
talks about food.
Loon follows just yapping.
Why are you bothering Littlepot?
Littlepot never says anything. He's the perfect person to speak to.
You just like talking to a wall, don't you?
He's such a great listener.
What was that?
I'm pretty sure I've seen him actively ignore someone trying to talk to him.
He's kind. He's not sociable.
So with us heading over to, Skybreak Mountain. Well, actually, no, you would have heard when I introduced myself to Becca. That would be my home.
Got any family there?
The whole tribe, technically.
Got a spare arm
Zellicrae
over
are... No. I say doubt. But Zellicrae are often, well... You typically don't find a family of Zellicrae. We do not reproduce the same way. For most Zellicrae, myself included, we're just a colony of spiders upon a mountain. At least for us. Working together, we eventually made our first Huskaskin suit as he lifts up the sheepskin cloth over his hip. And crawled our way over to the tribesmen. To home.
I don't have a home. I grew up on a ship. So what's your home like?
You could imagine Glittercrest, but much, much smaller. And of course, the one thing that you'll most likely have to get used to is solid ground. No need to move with the sway of the trees when ground beneath you doesn't move.
And I'm back.
Welcome in.
Sounds interesting.
Alright. So guess we got
Just asking what the mountain was like.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is home, so knowing and understanding what is to come might not be a horrible thing to get into.
Yeah, as I mentioned, they're to at least the tribe that he is from is the Glittercrest, but on a much, much, much smaller scale. It's all one, not a multitudes of them. And of course, it's instead of a ship, solid ground.
Fair. Fair. So I guess we'll begin our journey towards Skybreak Mountain. Tribes atop it. Go ahead and give me captain, and how do you wish to helm the ship?
We're gonna start by cutting a path.
Okay. Watch, please give me an appropriate roll.
Yeah, almost forgot. Briars is gonna be working on his track with Kokaza.
Okay. Yeah, alright. So give me a watch roll, please, little pot. A D6.
3.
Okay.
Great.
Well, remember, at least on watch rolls, it
What?
doesn't mean it's bad.
Watch rolls specifically are what kind of thing you might run into. It is determine the level of danger and whatnot. So, as you sail off, in the distance you see a very like it's not really strange, but like the sight of a multitude almost like ears, though they're instead of fins they have long legs that help propel them branches, um almost like frog hopping to and fro through the trees and across the waves. There's about 5 of them. Odd. Um, their colorful reptilian skin, reds and blue, yellows, very bright, very vibrant. It seems they are chasing down some insectoid creatures as well, to be eating and hunting. Nothing crazy.
Hooray.
Do you wish to engage with it, or do you steer clear?
Steer clear, please.
Here's a steer clear. The days are pretty chill, nothing too crazy. You do see that pod of essentially massive frogs on occasion here or there. But progress is steady. Nothing exciting else happened. Briars, give me a study roll for your track. Learn from Ukazah. And if you wish not to use study, if you figure another viable skill, feel free.
Study would definitely be the best thing there, because the other options are break, hunt, vault, or wave walk, and none of those definitely work. So I think at best I might. I don't even know if I have an edge for this.
Say rattle, and or if you could argue scavenge, but rattle would also be there.
Yeah, they're all at zeros though.
Okay.
I think at best I might be able to use grace just to get a dice out of this.
I don't think Brace would really fit the situation. Not really.
Oh no, grace, the edge.
Grace.
Yeah.
Weird. This is at a cut of 1. Does require your arms.
It would. So once again, that's all zeros, so I wouldn't even be able to do it.
Okay. All right. Well, that is unfortunate.
Yes.
Else you would.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot because this is also in my notes. Because when the Bellogarl slammed the wrench down, I believe some rocks did tear at the skin suit. Was that fixed? Or that's something that I need to still work right now?
It was at least stitched. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, don't forget that you could mark a stone as well in this from the session, whether minor or major.
Yeah.
It will say that's My dog.
Oh, Ariel.
Thank you.
She's like, it's almost 8, Dad.
I will say that this will be when like the reaching the of Sky Break Mountain act.
Okay.
Marking a major horrible idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna say managed to give Duck or Captain Liao the idea of supercharging might have been a major one there.
Sure. Yeah, I do think I'm going to session a little early, because I don't want to press too much into voyages and get you guys but anything just before the end.
Okay.
But I hope it was a very fun first little adventure with the Glitter Crest and the cruise there.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, do notate some milestones and feel free to use them to get new aspects or up skills in respective ways. You guys do have a bit of travel ahead, so maybe finding a way to put those to use in actually getting those skills and upgrades done might not be a bad time to do that.
Can I be sipping on some of Mancra's tea when I'm
Yes.
on watch? Sweet, hooray!
That is something that you can do as an additive to any of your days. That's fine.
Hooray!
Yeah. With that, my friends, thank you very, very much for joining me on this wonderful adventure, and I'm very excited to continue in a new location, new group of people. Have a wonderful rest of your nights, and I will see you guys all next Wednesday.
Hooray! Go crew!
Go crew! All right.
We live, Jippy.
If any of you guys have any questions about anything afterwards, feel free to message me or sit around, and I'll answer any question you guys might have.
Sounds good.
Okie dokie.
Catch you all later.
Bye.
Laters.
All right, chat. It has been a blast. Thanks for coming, hanging out, and being awesome. I love your faces. I love your butts. I love running Wildsea. It is such a good time. It's just it's so much fun just being able to like craft stories and stuff on a relative whim, but also like with the characters and the players being able to influence so much into stories with different things like whispers and whatnot, which haven't been used yet. I am still waiting for someone to use a whisper in a chart to form something or to create something in their adventures. I do enjoy how much leeway players do have to do things as they want and enhance situations and adventures as they see fit. There's some realm of control I need to put on things, but yeah, solve problems as they see fit. Anyways, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Hippie. I'm a variety caster here on Twitch. I do make I do try to do a lot of different gaming here mostly, though I do RPGs every Wednesday and soon to be going back to Saturdays. All sessions 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. PST. You'll find us here doing either Wildsea on Wednesdays, or in the coming Saturdays we'll be doing Fabula Ultima. And going from there, I do want to do something like one-shots or short adventures. I might plan those over the summer, see how that goes. See what people want to do. Just kind of get some of the smaller systems I have sitting around out of the way. At least as introductions. But yeah, we're gonna drop links for you guys. Discord, Twitter, sublink, merch links, all that shenanigans. Give it a look. Check it out. Thanks for being amazing. And sadly with that, the tavern doors will be closing. So finish your drinks, ladies and gentlemen. And until next time, bye-bye.